That Writer Guy.
That Writer Guy.
That Writer Guy. Podcast with Lyman Rate.
Hello and welcome back to That Writer Guy podcast. I am your host, Lyman Rate, and today we are on part 5 of character building, and this episode is all about the character arc and the rise and fall of your character. Now, writing characters can be a daunting task. You have to give them a name, a purpose, a backstory, an objective or goal, then you actually have to write everything out. From there, you give them everything they need, from interaction to adventures, love, and anything else your writing ideas can throw at them. But what about the character arc? What about that? The character arc dives more into their internal being and changes that are made at a more personal level than at a generic level. Think of it as seeing a swan on a lake, poised and gliding. But if you dive down underneath, you see the legs working to get them where they're going. Your character arc is the swan, and the legs are both necessary to make the character who they are. Without this, your character can be superficial, unbelievable, and unrelatable to the reader. You want your characters to be relatable to the reader and memorable. With emotions and feelings and personal successes and failures, all of these are what helps build a solid and great character. When a character gets into their arc, they usually are facing an internal struggle, internally or externally, something emotional, a fear, or something else. With internal struggles, usually it's insecurities or a lie they have told themselves about who they are or what they are. With this, they must come to terms with it and grow through the story to overcome and become the greatest being they have ever had the chance of believing they could be. With an external struggle, it could be disability or physical prowess or skills that they have to overcome through determination, setbacks, and learning to find they are capable of doing what they must to achieve greatness. Emotional problems, as well as the powerful issue of fear, are two things that can drive a character arc and help you give your character the ability to grow with the readers. No character will ever not have something they are struggling with. If they are living in a world you created, then they should have a struggle of some kind that they not only deal with, but have to figure out how to deal with so that they can become better, or they can actually take something and become worse. With a character arc that is good, there has to be a climax of the arc in which they start to see the possibilities in front of them that whatever they are dealing with, whatever their struggles are, they can see overcoming. Without this, the character arc will continue to grow and your readers might start to question what's going on and why. Now, does it mean that the character arc has to continually grow to the climax and then start downward side of things? No. You can have the character face setbacks and detours in their character arc, which can give the character more growth within the story. With character conflict or struggles, either internally or externally, you must keep in mind that whatever the struggle is, the character must bring it to the climax or to a head or get to the root of the struggle. No one enjoys a character that never seems to find out why something is happening and is always struggling against greater odds. It's almost depressing, really, when I read a character that I like because I want them to succeed and I want them to win and they never do. It's a turnoff when I can't see the character growing or learning and I become disinterested in them. Just make sure that you keep them growing and keep them growing and get them to that climax and help them over it and to the other side. Another type of character arc is the negative, which instead of a character realizing they have something they struggle with and need to get over it, a character has something and thinks it's good, but in reality it's not. In other words, they can perceive something to be one way and find out it is the polar opposite. Let's say a character believes that money is the only way to happiness. They work to get, or maybe they steal their way to lots of money only to find out it is the fastest way to actually be unhappy, and the more money they have, the more problems and unhappiness they find. This could be considered a negative character act. To have a negative character arc, you will have to have similar aspects of a positive character arc. However, the changes is that negative character arc starts with them thinking things are either good and things that can be better when it actually gets worse. Or when things are worse and they actually feel they are on top of the world, only have the world collapse on them. Good character arcs start with internal struggles which the character has to work through. Negative character arcs are where the character must learn the hard way what is wrong and what is right, and usually ends up destroying themselves and potentially others in the process. Now, should every character in your story have a character arc? That is something that you have to decide, and one of those decisions is how much work do you want to put into it. You can have every character have a character arc, and it can be masterfully done. Two examples are Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. Both authors did a wonderful job in having many of the characters have character arcs, and it shows. One more that I haven't mentioned yet is that fits right in the middle, and that is a good character arc and a bad character arc, and that is a flat character arc. A flat character arc is one that shows a character that doesn't change. The character knows what they want, where they need to go, what they need to do, how to get there, and will face any test that comes at them. This one is probably one of the more commonly used ones in story writing, as it is one of the easier ones to work with. With a flat character arc, your character won't be looking to find faults within, but rather the faults or things that lie around them. With characters, you can choose between what type of character arc you want, but remember one important thing. The character arc will help the reader follow the story and can provide a subtle theme. It can be love, it can be forgiveness, it could be anything, but depending on your arc, your character will have a subtle theme regarding the rise and fall of their character. Make sure you figure this out and include it in the writing of your story. And that is all the time I have for this particular episode, and I hope you found it helpful and informative. I've enjoyed my time with you here, and I do look forward to being with you on the next episode, which will be the last episode of this 6-part series on character building. If you've enjoyed this episode and you want to be friends with me, come find me on Facebook at That Writer Guy Podcast. Give me a like and a follow. If you have episode ideas, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know by message or just by leaving me a comment on my page. I'll be more than happy to respond and let you know if that is something that can be done. But other than that, until next time, keep the words flowing, the ideas going, and happy writing.